All right, I'm going to paint an alternative narrative here for the Leafs situation. So I believe this is my truth from how I interpret all the events that have happened the last week or so. Shanahan mentioned in his presser that he had told Dubas early that they would not be renewing his contract. So I believe that they had no intentions of renewing Dubas beyond what his contract was. And as I mentioned in another video, the end of his contract was June 30th, before July 1st. And what I feel is they wouldn't have possibly had the foresight of seeing this as being an issue 5 years ago when they did the contract in 2018. So in all fairness, it's hard to predict things like this. So the situation comes now. I think they have zero intention of renewing Dubas. Dubas knows this through after the deadline. And what do we do as human beings when we're frustrated? We get angry, we cry, whatever source of venting things when you feel like your life is out of control and you can't do anything about it. When you don't get the things that you want, you revert to being a baby. So I'm not saying that he's a baby all the time or anything, but I'm just saying it's human nature to throw water bottles or freak out or get angry in the moment. And we're all human, right? We're not perfect. So I believe that they had no intentions of ever re-signing him to a new extension. They needed to justify getting rid of him before these tough decisions needed to be made. So I believe that's potentially why Dubas on Monday talked about family and other things. As Kipper, I'm going to defend Kipper here because I believe that Dubas should have kept this internally. And I feel like he did hang his, as Kipper said, he did hang his family on the line for this because of his own frustrations. He could see the writing on the wall that he was losing control of his own situation. And to do that, like I said, I'm a huge mental health advocate and everybody has the right to go with their family. I think the way it showed his immaturity and how he handled the situation, because I think he doesn't say anything. They terminate his contract. It's like, hey, you can sort things out. But I take as him saying, I won't be popping up anywhere a week later while he's under contract for 6 more weeks, as my heart is in Toronto, but my head is in Pittsburgh, and I need to talk to my wife to see if she wants to move to Pittsburgh. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's as simple as that. He knows that they're not going to renew him. And I think enter Shanny's presser on Friday, and I already spoke about what he mentioned about not renewing him before his contract was up. He obviously, this was like coming up on him fast, and he's like, hey, you know what? You gave me the excuse to get rid of you right now. You made me look bad in front of the board, in front of everybody. Now I'm potentially on my last, rope with the board, MLSE, etc. And Shanahan's like, I'm going to take control of my future now, because potentially if this doesn't work and they lose Matthews for some reason next summer, he might be gone, right? Like Shanahan might lose his job. So I don't blame either guy for doing what they did, honestly, as a human being. I think that they could have handled it differently. I think that Dubas could have, not said the things publicly to millions of people. I think that Shanahan could have, he was defensive over his position, and I feel like he's in a way justifying his existence with the board right now for another year. And I think, I don't know what his contract looks like or whatever. I think it's 2 more years or something, but he's justifying his existence now because of, in reaction to what Dubas did on Monday. So I don't blame either person. Like I said, we're all humans. We're all, doing the best we can. We're all like 60-70% selfish in our lives, towards our, Maslow's hierarchy of needs or whatever. So, shelter, food and stuff for your family, etc. We're all going to do what we got to do, right? We're all humans. So I don't blame either of them. It's a shame that it happened. as Justin Bourne said today, it's like everybody acted really immaturely. Everybody acted, you know, kind of like hacks. You know, it's just like grow up, everyone. And I think that the deadline was really good. The acquisitions were really good. I don't know who was a part of that, but now MLSE and the board and everybody is faced with, you know, without Dubas, this all goes square on Shanahan, as some of the guys have been pointing out today. Yeah, like if you're faced with now the possibility of trading Matthews or Marner or Willie or any of these guys, I don't think that Dubas was their guy ever to do that. And as the Steve Dangle podcast, they just mentioned, or I'm watching it now, and they mentioned that potentially Matthews has links to like some kind of contract with Dubas. So it's like, oh man. I think, like I joked, Matthews for a bag of pucks. I think as much as it's unpopular with everybody, this has been my thought for the entire time, that unfortunately you're going to lose a lot of goals for. But I don't think you can stand to lose a two-way player like Marner, in my opinion. I think that if Matthews' heart is in Toronto, some team will give up stuff for him. Maybe to try to sign him for like a 2-3, maybe a 3-year bridge deal. Maybe if he's unhappy, 3 to 4 years, I don't know, he comes back to Toronto, right? Like that's what you can do as a free player with no contract assigned to you, right? This is the business that we're in. So I think that as a business, MLSE has to make these tough decisions. That's why they weren't going to renew Dubas. They knew that he wasn't their guy even last year. I think after witnessing the postseason, it's so ironic that Toronto is like this close. Like, you know, Florida might go on to win the cup, and then all the fans are going to be like, why did you trade Matthews? You know, what's going on? But they have to, because this is the business that they're in, right? It's, you gotta, in a cap era, you can't just have, you know, 10 Wayne Gretzky's on your team. You know, it's like, sorry, you have to work around value guys and, you know, those heart and soul guys. I think definitely there's always going to be superstars. I talked about like the Pareto chart, time and money over time, and, you know, the power concentration at the top. There's always going to be guys that are drafted that are like head and shoulders above other players, but a team is a team, and here's hoping they can build a good team out of value this summer. So cheers, guys.